Hello, I'm going to do a tutorial here for you of how to access and locate assignments for the quizzing elements of Unit 3. It's going to be an overview of how to do the online uh, labs for this unit. And I wanted you to make sure you knew how to first of all access them, and then I'll walk in real quickly with the instructions on how to do the labs. Of course, here's the home page for the class, and where I would go to find the quiz are the online labs, and they are structurally very different. This unit, they're more pass-fail versus actually submitting questions for uh, technically exactly correct answers, because they're pretty much, you go through them and either you get them right or you're wrong. Is going to the modules, and once you click on modules, you would see the layout of the course throughout the semester, and you can see there's Unit 1, Unit 2. We're on Unit 3, and there's the Unit 3 readings and assignments, and here is the very first lab that we'll be working on. And when you click on the virtual earthquake lab, you'll see the instructions come up, and the due date is listed there as April 10th. So you see you've got quite a bit of time on this very first one. These labs require you to access an external website that's sort of a simulator where you'll be looking at a computer animation, and you'll see that the lab requires you to answer just 3 short answer questions from this virtual earthquake lab simulator. And if you were to click on this link right here, you would actually see this page right here pop up. And this would, if you do see this page, that is an indicator that the Adobe Flash Player is not, either your browser is blocking it or it's not installed. I have found more success of actually running it in Explorer. So when I do want to run this, it seems to run a little smoother. And when you open up the lab, you will see, I'm going to move this here a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. I'm going to move the screen over so you can see the instructions. Your simulator should look somewhat like this. Over here on the left are the instructions for exactly how you should be going through the assignment. And you can't underestimate following these instructions step by step, and if you do follow them, you should have no problem. So over here on the left hand side, you get a background on the concepts, and then you get into the objective of the exercise, and you actually then get into getting into the actual steps to do the assignment. So you can see there, I'm going to actually go through here, and I'm actually going to start one. And I'm actually going to start clicking on. What you'll be doing is effectively trying to calculate an earthquake for one of these 4 or 5 stations that they've got located over the map. And when you click on one of these letters, it's going to start a simulation of actually starting an earthquake to occur, and data is going to be starting to be collected at seismographs all over the country, and your goal will be to identify where the epicenter was for the earthquake that was affecting the stations at either one of these locations. So all of these stations here are collecting weather data, not weather data, but seismic data on earthquakes, and whatever station you click on, you're going to start to see down in here this graph starting to collect data. You will then be using the difference between arrival of P waves and S waves, and using those difference, you will end up drawing 3 circles on this graph, and where the 3 circles intersect through a process of triangulation, which you will learn about on here, they will basically explain to you how where the earthquake originated from, and you will be plotting the actual epicenter of where the earthquake occurred. The questions for the assignment are actually under the journal. And when you click on the journal, that's why on your assignment you saw that there were 3 questions in Canvas. They're actually right here. Which state was the earthquake's epicenter located in your simulation? The second question, what does the time difference between the arrival of the S wave and the P waves Why do they get farther apart as you get further away from the epicenter? And then you go, how do you actually, what is actually required for you to locate the epicenter of the earthquake? So after you've read through here and gone through the questions and read the concepts, you should be fine to actually get through the assignment and run through this really interactive simulation. It's important to note that on all of the labs for this unit, they really run through a very similar process. Some of them require you to actually click on a table and you actually enter some data. On this specific lab, you don't actually ever enter this data in and actually print it out. For some reason it isn't working and you can't actually type any numbers, type anything into here. But to actually complete the assignment, you don't actually need to use the table on this one. So I will go back to here and I will let you, I hope this does help you, but this was, again, the next 3 labs all require to use a simulator like this, and you'll be using the Adobe Flash Player plugin, and hopefully you won't have too many troubles. And if you are, again, the 3 questions will again come from your journal, and when you go to click your journal, these 3 questions right here from the exercise actually match up exactly with where you are in the actual exercise. These 3 questions in the virtual earthquake lab are the exact same 3 questions that come from the journal questions on the simulator itself. Well, I hope you get some benefit out of this. I will stop it now, and hopefully this will help you get through the assignment.